Okay, this is our HVAC indoor air handler. This is the plumbing that is in harm's way. I don't want people stepping on my plumbing. I want people stepping on your plumbing. Coming over here, this is the evaporator coil, primary drain pipe. It's right here in front of the service platform. I don't want people stepping on my drain pipe. Maybe you want people stepping on your drain pipe. I don't know. But here's our furnace, and our furnace has got a care and use manual. And this is a nice little guy right here. He's sitting here all pretty. Okay, there's our air filter. There's our cooling. Okay. Now, you want to change this as soon as you move in so you have a baseline. You've also got a filter inside of here, 12 by 12. And this filter on your air return needs to be replaced. Well, actually, I think those are just washed. And so you have a baseline. So that one's a little better. And those filters, by the way, are kind of expensive. So let's see what we got. Furnace. What's going on? What's wrong with the furnace? We got a care and use manual. It's hung properly. What's going on? What are we missing here? Well, what we're missing here is, see, we got this plastic exhaust pipe. All right. The reason why it's an plastic can be a plastic exhaust pipe is because we raked so much heat out of the flame and put it into the air duct and delivered it to the house, making a high efficiency. This is still exhausting carbon monoxide and other noxious chemicals. It's still an exhaust pipe. It still needs to go outside, and it still is. But the process of getting it so cool that we could use that pipe, the process of that, it requires, okay, a condensate drain. Okay, and then because that's the byproduct of is the condensate. This is a screen, and this is a condensate drain. And you want to check with the manufacturer because this is going to the same pipe as the evaporator coil, and it's going into your sewer. It's going into your sewer. So is that going to hurt your sewer system? You know, is it, approved for this municipality? The code inspector is the one person who can tell us about that. I'm saying there's lots of good reasons to have a neutralizing filter. I'm not seeing a neutralizing filter. So let's go to the evaporator coil. So we got these coils right over here. And we got a shallow P-trap going to commingled with our noxious gas condensate and going down into the sewer. All right. So what happens? But we have a shallow P-trap. They sell them on the store. They're quicker, easier, cheaper, fixer. I get that. I get all that. But with a shallow trap, okay, in the cooling mode, when the air is raked over the coils, okay. When the air is raked over the coils, then it dehumidifies the house, and so they're full of water. Another condensate, not as acidic, okay, but condensation all the same. And then when the fan turns off, all the water drops out of the coils. And when it drops out of the coils, it hits this shallow trap. It's just like a roller coaster. The last car follows the first. Whee! Goes right on down. And then that leaves the trap open, so now the sewer gases work their way back up into the system, and the noxious gas from the condensate, okay, works its way back up into the system, and then when the system kicks back on, it is redistributed evenly throughout the whole structure. You won't smell it because it'll be so diluted, but you're getting all those impurities, all those, sick house syndrome. So that's why you need a deep trap. Now this trap is kind of an interesting little animal right here, because not only is it a shallow trap, but we've got a clean out, but we don't have a vent. We should have a vent. A vent is behind the trap. A vent is behind the trap, so it should come up to help all this go down. And the vent should not have a cap on it. This is on the wrong side of the trap. Okay, that makes it a clean out. They come up here with a CO2 cartridge and blow it in here and clean out your coils. If this gets dirty and stuff, they'll clean it out. That's a clean out. That's a clean out, not a vent. This is supposed to have a cap on it. So we got a clean out without a cap, and we don't have a vent. We got a shallow P-trap. And let's go to our air conditioning air duct. Okay. Well, it actually looks pretty darn good. And I am very critical. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's okay to go across the roof like that as long as you're going perpendicular across the rafters. So Everything I'm seeing, I mean, I don't see that much. I'm going to still take measurements and stuff. I'm still going to get an infrared camera and see if I can find some leakage around here. I'm still going to do that too. But one thing I can say is these belts, this nylon webbing, it curls. See that? It curls just like cheap underwear, the elastic in a cheap pair of underwear. Okay, and when it curls, it'll continue to curl, and it cuts into the webbing, cuts into the air duct, causing restrictions. There should be saddles underneath those loops. A lot of times they use cardboard. They use something. Some of them use sheet metal, so that's better. But even cardboard. But after time, these belts are going to start curling on you, and they're going to peak, start kinking on your insulation and making you uncomfortable.